Let me hit this button. Everybody good? Welcome. First live of 2019 is upon us. How are you, my dear rock stars? I missed you guys. Hope everybody is well. Good to see you all here on a live broadcast. We do this every Tuesday at noon Eastern time. My ubiquitous cappuccino. Actually, this is a nice little espresso. Look at the cup. Isn't that the coolest thing ever? We got this for Christmas as a gift. I love these things. There's a lovely shot there. How are you guys? Kevin, what's happening? Put the espresso down and let's get the show on the road, says Kevin. Yes, agreed. Mr. Todd, good to see you, my friend. Christina checking in. Good morning to you. Joshua Tree, love that place. Hannah goes there every time we're in California. She takes a road trip early in the morning to Joshua Tree, California to see the sunrise there. Beautiful place. Mr. David, good morning to you as well, my good sir. Lovely to see you, my friends. Good crowd today. We're going to have a good time. We're going to talk about how to get the year started right. The mistake 99% of the agents make. You will not. You're rock stars. You're cool. I'll tell you about a very special offer I have for you. A very special system that we just released that I would like you to come on board. And a pretty cool package that we put together for you rock stars. Any questions I can answer for you as we spend time together? Let's get cranking. Mike would like to know if I enjoyed the trip. Absolutely. Well, let me show you what you people talking about. Jim is with us. Connie checking in from Alabama. Lovely to have you. I had a wonderful trip. That was a lot of fun. David is here. Christina, good morning. Hey, Roseanne is with us. Checking on her boss, making sure I don't make silly offers that then they don't freak over. All right, Mr. Kenneth, good to see you always. Derek is with us. Shante, a lot of my PATH students, Expired Plus students, bootcamp students are here with us. Lovely to have you guys. So, what's cranking? You ready for 2019? How was 2018? Did it suck? Was it awesome? Was it somewhere in between? Usually somewhere in between, right? Like, you had a good year. You got some deals going. You helped some people, made some money, but probably not exactly where you want to be. Probably not exactly as much money as you like to make. True or false, right? That's why you're here. You want some inspiration from me, some guidance, some tips, some tools, and that's what we're going to do. That's the plan. Now, be honest. How many of you have set New Year's goals and resolutions? And they're pretty ambitious, right? Come on, be honest. I can take it. Yes, you have. Why then? People set these ambitious goals, lovely goals. You want to make a certain amount of money, buy a new car, live in a new home, pay off debt, all that good stuff. Most of it falls apart, and pretty quickly. I've been avoiding the gym in the last few days because you know how it is, right? It's crowded, it's jammed. Hannah took a yoga class yesterday morning, 6 a.m. class at our favorite studio here in Falls Church called Dancing Mind. It was packed. A lot of good people with good intentions. But you know what's going to happen in 2 to 3 weeks, 4 weeks? It's going to go back to normal. Most people, gone. And it's the same thing in real estate. You set these awesome goals. You're ready to go. Maybe you even started prospecting. Right? Made some changes. This is the year. And then, little by little, the good old habits creep back in. The good old ways. Next thing you know, it's June, and you're about in the same spot you were last year in summer. And the reason I know that is not because I'm such an awesome coach. Okay, I'm a good coach. Yes, I'm one of the best. True. But it's because I've been there. So the first thing I want you to do is do not kill yourself. I saw it at the gym when I started working with George last year. There were these guys who would have these brand new AirPods, you know, those little Q-tips sticking out of your ears, Apple AirPods, brand new outfits, brand new Nikes, cool jogging suit. They were studying the machine, you know, the treadmill, because it's pretty complicated these days. They put it on like level 12. In 12 minutes, they were sweating like crazy, ready to die on that thing. Too much too soon. And then the results don't show up, and they get discouraged. They stand on the scale 7 days later, all sore and tired and beat up and exhausted from getting to the gym at 6 in the morning. And they look at the scale and, fuck me, not working. How many of you followed my advice and started contacting expired listings? Because I told you there's going to be a big spike. There'll be a bunch of people out there who will need your help. There'll be people out there who try to sell Hired maybe the wrong agent, maybe the agent wasn't strong enough as far as pricing. Many things can go wrong with an expired, but they still want to sell. You are after them. You start prospecting. You're going after it. Week later, you don't have an appointment. You go, well, fuck it, Borino was wrong. Expireds don't work. I'm not doing FSBOs. They take too long. I'm not doing this. It's not working. And you start beating yourself up, getting really hard on yourself, and then you get pulled in 100 different directions because you got that new email about the new thing on Facebook or this and magic this, magic that. Next thing you know, it's June. Things are not going well. Am I about right? Has that happened last year too? Did it happen last year? Don't make the same mistake today. In order for you to make a significant change, lasting change that will not only make your business easier but more profitable, there are 3 things you must do. And if you want to write these down, you will be better off. First, get absolutely clear not just what you want. I had a coaching session yesterday. I don't know if Blair is with us here. Blair Bond? Great session. Great jumpstart session. Hot seat. And a big chunk of our session we spent, Blair's taking path with me, but a big chunk of our session we spent on, not just on the technical elements, on the marketing, but on the mindset, on the why. Because if your why is not at 10, you will run out of fuel. You know how when NASA fires off one of those rockets, like when we're going to fly to the moon again or to the Mars, it burns 80% of the fuel in the first few seconds of the takeoff to create momentum. That's the hardest part to get going. So we chatted with Blair about the why. Blair struggled with reaching some of the goals or feeling like, I'm not sure if I'm on track, it's not working, it's not going exactly the way I wanted it to be. The problem is not enough fuel. You already know, in most cases, how to sell a house, true or false. You know how to list a property, right? You know how to get a good listing sold. You know how to negotiate contracts. You know what to do. The issue is not knowledge. The issue is most of the time either your systems are not in place or you're not taking consistent action, but it all goes back to the mindset, to the why. Strong why, powerful why, exciting why will be like a magnet that will just pull you. Where you don't have to struggle with, should I go to the gym or should I prospect or should I do whatever you set to do. It must be a super powerful why. Why do you want that new car? Why do you want that new watch? Why do you want that new home for your family? Why do you want to send your kid to Harvard? Why do you want to take your wife to Bahamas? Why do you want it? Spend some time soul searching and really, I don't want to... I'm not here to motivate you. You're not broken. You don't need to be motivated. You just need to be clear. What do I want and why? You know where most people start is with how. That's the last step. That's at the end. First figure out what the hell do you really want and why does it matter? That's going to be the fuel that's going to charge you up. I have a long list of things I want this year, next year, in 5 years, up to 20 years. But I have to spend a certain amount of time getting very, very clear. Why does it matter to me? And there's no wrong answer. Whatever rocks your boat, whatever inspires you, whatever is your thing, whatever floats your boat, rocks your boat. Isn't that great? I can mangle English like nobody else. It's hilarious. Get clear on why. That's number 1. Number 2, I'll give you a very simple technique. I do it every day. Let me show you. I got my book right here. I'll show you what I do. This is something I do daily. I spent maybe 2 minutes writing my most important, most inspirational goals down. I do it every single day. In this book. It's a nice leather-bound book I got as a gift from Hannah, and I just write things down, things that matter to me. And whether it's a goal I want to accomplish this day or a goal I want to accomplish this week or something I want to reach in a year, 10 years, doesn't matter. I don't measure it by timeline, I measure it by impact. How much does this excite me? How much impact? How much difference it's going to make in my life, my family's life, or your life as my students? It's a small little thing that takes 2 minutes a day to just write by hand, not on a computer, by hand on a piece of paper. Just like that. And it can be short and simple. And there are days where I just write like 4 or 5 lines. And there are days where I feel inspired, I want to write more. But the purpose of this and the reason I do this is, again, it juices me up. It starts shifting my focus towards things I want. And it starts altering my behavior and it starts changing the habits that I need to get there. Write things down. There was a study done, and forgive me, I don't remember the name of the scientist. It was a California University did a study where they compared two groups and how fast and how efficient they were in achieving their goals. And they discovered even something as simple as writing them down increased their chances by 40%. Just by writing it down. Every day. Do this. 2 minutes a day. Promise me you will. Make a public declaration right here. Doesn't need to be fancy leather bound like this. Just a regular notebook is fine. Notepad is just fine. Don't overthink it. Write it down. So 1, get clear on why. 2, write it down daily. Review it daily. And if you want to get a little fancier, do a little nice vision board. I encourage all of you, my PATH students, right, to put together a vision board. So that you have a constant reminder. You constantly know this is the direction I'm going. And if I might be off track once in a while, I still am very clear. This is what I want. Here is why it matters to me. So that's 1 and 2. Let me give you the third one. Start small. Especially if something that you want to incorporate. Now let's use an example. I don't know. Call in expired listings. It is a challenge for you. You feel nervous. You feel insecure. Jesus. First time I started working expireds, it looked like I had, what's that disease? Multiples? No. You know, Michael J. Fox is a Shakespeare guy. That's how nervous I was. I was smudging paper. I couldn't read. I was nerve-wracking. It was nerve-wracking to me. I was so scared. It's normal. It's normal. You're not broken. Feeling a little anxious, feeling a little nervous, feeling a little apprehensive, talking to strangers is absolutely normal. But the problem is if you don't overcome that, if you don't master the ability to communicate with people, especially with people who don't really like you and trust you at the beginning, it's going to be a hard battle in this business. This is still a people business. We have all these phenomenal tools, but at the end, one human being helping another human being. You got to master that connection, the trust, the building rapport and all that stuff. And I've become pretty good at it, not just developing it, but teaching you guys how to do that. Because what I've discovered is just a set of tools that you deploy and a set of strategies and tactics. Now, we're not talking about the sales tactics and strategies and techniques, you know, the sales pitches and the closing and all that shit. We're talking organic, natural stuff, but it can be learned. So start small. That's the rule number 3. That's the tip number 3 I'm going to give you. Small. If calling expired is really a big challenge for you, what if you set a goal, I'll just dial 1 number today? Can you do that? Just 1. And do that for the next 5 days. Important thing will happen. 1, you will follow through on your commitments, which is really huge for your self-worth, self-esteem, and self-image. Where you honor your commitments, you honor your agreements, you honor your word. Not with others, but with yourself. That's huge. Self-image will shift. 1. 2, make it easy. Because if it's too big, like the dude trying to run on level 12 on a treadmill, you're going to figure out a way to get out of it. It's going to be too unpleasant, too uncomfortable, too painful. And your monkey brain, the drunken monkey, will get you out of it. We'll figure out a way out. It's its job. The croc brain job is to get you out of pain and danger. And talking to strangers at first is considered dangerous and uncomfortable. Start small. And then increase from there. Knocking on 1 expired on the door in the next 24 hours. Set that as a goal. Why not? And if they open the door, great. Have a conversation. Whatever happens doesn't matter. Don't be attached to the outcome. You don't control that anyway. Be attached to the action you're taking. Be attached to the things you control, which is activities. You control the activity, not necessarily the outcome. You can improve the outcome by getting better, by practicing, different mindset, using better tools, using better language, better dialogues. All that will help. But then just focus on honoring your commitments. Set those commitments, preferably in writing, plan them, put them in your calendar, and then execute. And the next week, look back and says, well, you know what? I didn't die. It was all right. I made it through. Let's bump it up. Because the second thing you're going to do, 1, of course, is you change the self-image we talked about. 2, you start establishing new habits, which is huge. Because 90% of our behavior is just habitual. Me drinking this lovely espresso is a habit, and I love it. Establishing these money habits, establishing behavior that generates business is the best habit you can develop, the best ritual you can establish. where after a certain time, after repetition, they say it's about 21 days or so, you don't have to think about it much. It just becomes part of your day, whether it's calling expired, visiting for sale by owners, following up with leads, all that good stuff. Stuff that generates money. Stuff that produces clients. And if I was in a position of an agent, if I were a newer agent or an agent who needs more business, I would start with low-hanging fruit, buddy. I wouldn't worry about complicated systems, online systems, because they tend to be pretty complicated and pretty expensive. I would start with this first, put that in place first, master that first. And once you get cranking on leads and listings, bam, you can improve, you can upgrade, you can expand. But start with the simple stuff, start with the easy stuff. You know, most agents avoid it, not because it's complicated, but because it's uncomfortable. Then if you start measuring your income, or if your income is dependent on the level of comfort, you're fucked, you're in trouble. I mean, imagine come Tuesday noon, my life is about to happen. I'm like, well, I don't feel like it. I don't feel like coaching you guys today. I don't feel like giving you good content. I don't feel like inspiring you. How long do you think my company would stay afloat and to continue a relationship with you? Not that long, right? You don't care how I feel. You don't really give a shit that much about me. No hard feelings. And you can't hurt my feelings. I know why you're here. And I appreciate and respect that. You're here to learn some cool stuff, have fun, of course. If this was boring, then fuck that, you'd be out of here. And get something useful that you can incorporate in your business so you can grow, you can make more money. Same way your clients really don't give a shit about you. What they care about is, can you help them? Are you their best choice? Simple as that. This way, I'm not going to get hurt. My feelings can't get hurt. You understand? So look at it from perspective of clients, the same thing. But don't let your emotions, how you feel, how comfortable something is. Ask yourself this, is it profitable? Is it productive? That's the only thing that really matters. Within ethical realms, of course, but you understand what I'm saying. Does it all make sense, my friends? Is that helpful? Mike says, let me move this a little. I'm going to adjust the picture just a little bit. Hold on a second so we can see your comments. There you go. This is better. So Mike says, I called and expired, left a voicemail. They called me back and bawled me out. I immediately look at my vision board and say, I will not let this person stop me from reaching my goals, and then made the next few calls. That's perfect. That's what I'm talking about, Mike. Now, will some expireds be emotional, maybe angry, maybe a little abrupt or aloof? Yes. But here's something interesting I've discovered about expireds. If they're so emotional, yes, it's possible that that person could be just an asshole. You know, one of those angry, irritable people who complains about the traffic, the politics, the president, the weather, and a bunch of other stuff. That's possible. But it's also possible that that person was really disappointed and frustrated the property didn't sell. That selling and moving was really important to them. And it's that disappointment that they now turn into anger outwards, and you, good agent, active agent, working out there, doing honest work, got the brunt of it. That's possible. So my suggestion to you is, treat everyone as a good potential lead, even the angry ones. I'm not saying work with assholes. Absolutely not. You don't need to get abused. Not at all. But what I can tell you is, whether in real estate or in life in general, there'll be times when people get mad at you. There'll be times when people will be yelling at you. Have you ever gotten yelled at in traffic? Of course you did. We all have. I had too. I yelled at people too. I gave fingers. I'm good at giving fingers in traffic. Ask my family. But you get my point. It can be unpleasant. I mean, I was in a grocery store. The poor girl behind the checker, the checkout girl, got yelled at, and she was crying because she screwed up something, and one of the customers checking out the groceries got pissed at her. It happens everywhere. It happens once in a while all over. And the fact that you used your vision board, Mike, and the fact that you were able to jump right back on is phenomenal. See, it is not the disappointments that matter. There'll be plenty of setbacks and disappointments in real estate, in life, in other business, anywhere. I have a 12-year-old daughter who loves to play flute. She's into music. She plays piano. She plays the flute. And every year, our local area schools do a district band. They put on a performance, and you have to audition for it. And it's a really big deal. If you're into music, that really matters. And it's a very honorable, prestigious thing to get into the district band. Hundreds of kids compete for each instrument. This was her first time to go and audition. She practiced, she worked her ass off, and she was really nervous to go to the audition. And as far as I remember, there were like 400 girls, or 400 kids auditioning for a position of like 4 or 5 flutes in the orchestra. She didn't make it. She didn't make the cut. There were other students, other kids better than her. But what I really appreciated was she gave it her best. And we had that conversation where she was a little teary-eyed and disappointed. But the conversation I had with her was, I asked her, Lila, did you do your best? Do you feel like you really practiced and you gave a good audition? And she paused and she thought about it, and then she said, yeah, I think so. And it was that realization that helped her get over the disappointment. And she'll try again next year. She didn't quit flute. She didn't quit music. She didn't get angry or bitter. And the disappointment went away. And the lesson I wanted her, and I want you to take away from all this, is there will be disappointments. There'll be setbacks. There'll be things that happen out of nowhere. There'll be things that will derail your business. There'll be things you will or will not be able to control. It is how you react, and more importantly, what you do right after, that's going to make the biggest difference. It's good to look back and take a lesson, like from the conversation or from the voicemail. Was it possible to leave a better voicemail? Probably not, Mike. Knowing you, I don't think so. Is there anything else you could do? I would still work with the seller until I'm very clear that they're either terrible personality, somebody who will try to kill me, or they're not motivated, or I just don't want to work with them. But until then, I would give them a chance, because I understand the initial emotional reaction is normal. Especially to something like not being able to sell their house. That's a big deal to them. You see, to you and I, the language and the circumstances and the process of selling a house, it's all familiar. We've been doing it for many, many years. But many of these sellers haven't sold a house in 15, 20 years, sometimes never before. So going through the disappointment and going through the trials, and now all of a sudden getting bombarded by all these agents, of course some people have the right to get emotional. So you going in with some patience, some compassion, and some understanding will serve you really, really well. And not just with expats, but people in general. Because another thing I discovered was that people in general are pretty nice, especially if you treat them right. Especially if you give them a little time to warm up to you. You see, we don't really have the best reputation. You guys know that. That's just what it is. So it takes a little bit of time for them to realize you're different, you're more skilled, you really care. Of course you want to put food on the table and get paid, nothing wrong with that. You shouldn't be hiding it, you shouldn't be apologizing for it. But it's at the end, not at the beginning. At the beginning, it's more about connecting with that person, building trust and relationship with them, asking the right questions, qualifying them. And of course, presenting you as a helpful advisor, not a needy, low-status salesperson. That's the trick. Some of it has to do with your mindset, how you're going in, how you feel about it. Some of it has to do with your competence. Are you a good agent? Can you really deliver? And some of it has to do with your communication. How do you present that, verbally and non-verbally? Make sense? What do you say? Jim Steely, what's up, Mr. Jim? Good to see you, my friend. I find a lot of realtors try and hard close like my man Cardone, but I feel like homeowners don't want to be closed that way. Borino's approach is soft and smooth, and I think they like that better. Christopher, that's a very good point. People don't want to be closed. Do you want to be sold? Do you want to be hard sold? Now, my man Grant, I have nothing but respect for the man. It works for some people. And if you can pull it off, nothing wrong with that. I just feel like if I feel good about what I'm doing, if I am confident that I can help these people, and if I have a way to communicate that with the right tools and the right dialogues and the right approach, I don't need to close anybody. When was the last time I had to close you? When was the last time you got a call from us saying, hey, you should buy the Expired Plus, you should buy the FSBORINO. I don't need to do that. You see the value in what I do, you appreciate how I teach you, and some of you come on board. Awesome. Some of you won't. Awesome. Nothing wrong with that. Not everybody's my perfect client, my perfect student. That's all good. As long as you walk away today and from other sessions inspired, a little better agent, a little better human being, mission accomplished. I'm perfectly happy with that. Now, if you want to be like my man, Mr. Jim Steely, who did what, about 70 transactions last year, Jim? You crushed it. Come on board. I got some stuff. I got a brand new Expired Plus. We just released it. It's still warm from the printer. No, it's not. I'm kidding. But this is brand new stuff. Rewrote the whole system. It's updated for 2019. Has the latest, the greatest stuff. Now, you can get this. I would like you to get it. This is a shortcut. This is a shortcut. If you want a business in a box where you can do expireds right away, just read the book, watch the quick start videos, you're up and running. Then you, of course, I forgot that part. You got to do the work. I can do that for you. But other than that, everything is in there. Checklists, guides, dialogues, scripts, follow-up sequences, all there. 111 pages, brand new stuff. I think you will like it. It is, in my humble opinion, the best expired system in the world. And I am the best guy to teach you that. I don't know anybody else who can teach it in a soft way, in a non-salesy way, where you still feel good about yourself, so you don't have to take a shower after each appointment because you feel so shitty. You feel good, you get business, and your clients appreciate you. That's what's in it. So if you want to come on board, it comes with a marketing library, it comes with all the downloads, it's all there. Complete system. But I figured, why not? Since we talk about the mindset so much, and I wrote a book on mindset called The Path, which is part of the path, I decided to do something crazy and special. You might have seen the email earlier. Let me show you what it is. I put together this, what I call the Jumpstart 2019 package. You will get the Expired Plus, the brand new one, that's $397. You will get the Path, which is this book, plus the first month of the Path where we deal about the money mindset. You will get full access to the Listing University. That alone is $1,164 a year membership. Plus, I'm going to throw in a bonus called Mind Matrix Plus, which is an audio program that you listen to, that removes all kinds of barriers, deep-rooted, limited beliefs, all that flushed out. I recorded it for myself initially. This is a $1,905 package. You can have it for free, just by trying the Path. Path is an ongoing monthly program to help you with, from mindset, time management, communication, lead generation, follow-up, listing presentation, growing your business. It's all there. Every month, I release a new chapter for you. Every month, we work on different things. It also comes with training, live Q&As, live hot seats, role-play sessions, all that. If you go to that page, there's a video. Let me show you the page again. Here you go. There's a video, short. It's like 8 minutes, 10-minute video, that explains in details all the good things you're going to get. This is a limited time offer. I don't know how long we're going to be able to pull this off, because we only have, Roseanne, correct me if I'm wrong, we have what, about 12 books left, 13 books left? So not a whole lot. But if you want to start New Year right, if you want to start 2019 right, with the right systems in place, with the right mindset in place, and with some guidance, I'm here to help. Go to goborino.com/expired-special. goborino.com/expired-special. Do check it out. We'd love to have you on board, okay? We'll mail you these 2 books. This is a workbook about mindset, money mindset. This is the new Expired Plus. You're going to get both in the mail, plus instant access to the good stuff online. Would love to have you. Okie dokie. So let's address some question. Do it, Borino is the real deal, says Christopher. Christopher, thank you. I appreciate that. Do it and you will make money. Buy today, says Jim Steely. Now, if a guy who's doing over 70 deals a year says that, yeah, I would listen. I have the 4.0 book. How do I get the update? Warren, please contact our office and we'll set you up. All right. And Shante is in the middle of the Expired Plus now. Glad. Jim Steely did 75 transactions, 16 million. Good for you. Nice to have you. Mike says, I think of those expireds that I've listed and how much they appreciate me. I know my perfect client is out there. Absolutely, Mike. And there are. That's the thing, guys. There were over 5 million transactions closed last year. 5 million. And this year, it's going to be about the same. I know the government shut down, blah, 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 blah. People still need to move. There are people in your town right now who need to move, who need to sell, who need a bigger house, smaller house, who are getting job transfers, who are getting divorced, who are expecting a baby, who are getting married. They need a good realtor. They need a good agent. Government, schmovernment, shut down, schmut down. They need your help. And frankly, low-hanging fruit like expireds should be your first thing. I mean, think about it. You can get on the MLS right now It doesn't take hours and hours and hours. Within minutes, you can have leads right now. Now, if you want to get fancy and you want to subscribe to one of those data providers like RedX and Landboys and Espresso Agent or Vulcan, all these, cool. So you can get more contact information. But even just on MLS, you can pull 5, 10 leads that you can contact in the next 24 hours. And those are people who not thinking about moving 6 months from now, a year from now, like many of the, especially online leads, they're like down the road, just doing the research, doing homework. These are people who are in the process. They already signed with somebody. They went through the cycle once. And there's a good chance, big chunk of them will try again. Now, here's the cool part. What is the number one reason property expires? Pop quiz. What's the number one reason a property expires? Price. That's the number one reason, right? Most properties expire because they're overpriced. Now, what do you think is easier? To convince a seller on the initial consultation that the price should be $500,000, whether the seller wants 6, and we all had sellers like that. My house is special. Well, somebody's going to fall in love with it, right? You heard all that shit. What's easier? Do it on the initial consultation, or for the seller to experience 4 months of very little activity, couple of lowball offers to finally realize it should have been $400,000 or $500,000. Now, many sellers will not go back to the original agent. You know why? Status. Status. They may tell you that they do, or they would, but it's the status thing. They don't want to look stupid in front of their eyes. They don't want to tell the other agent, hey, look, I was wrong. Second time around, and the third time around, easier pricing. Much easier, in many cases. Make sense? Because you don't have to convince them. They experienced it. They tried it for 4 months and they go, it didn't work very well. You come in, you do a good listing presentation, you build trust and rapport, you position yourself as an expert with a lot of respect. And now as partners, you establish the right price. Where you clearly establish is not about what the seller wants, what they think it should sell for, what they need to get. None of that matters. It's going to come down to what the buyer is willing to pay. That's it, bottom line. Now you do that with respect and authority. And I can teach you how to do that. Again, here's the biggest discovery I made when it comes to real estate. It's nothing but a set of skills. No special talent required. Living proof. Seriously. So just like prospecting expired listings is a set of skills. What skills do I need? First, I need a discipline to actually get it done. If you can invest 30 minutes, 60 minutes a day, you can get leads and you can get listings. I have students doing it all day long. Can't promise you you're going to do the same, but if you consistently follow the system, it's duplicatable. What's skill number 2? Develop certain communication skills. I learned those. Barely spoke English when I started. Look at me now. A little better. I still say crazy shit like rocket surgery. But you know what I mean? It's a set of skills. Meeting the expired, a set of skills. Eye contact, smile, ask a few questions, not attached to the outcome. What's next? Setting up appointment, a set of skills. There are just a few simple questions I ask, and it's either yes or no. I'll do my best, but some say yes, some say no, some say, maybe. Cool, follow up. Handling objections. You're going to get 5 or 6 objections. That's it. Expireds are not very creative when it comes to objections. You're going to get 5 or 6. We're staying with our agent. We don't know what we're going to do. We're not selling. Where were you when the house was up for sale? Do you have a buyer? That's about it. What you will understand that the stuff I teach you, the stuff in the Expired Plus, is not based on selling. It's based on psychology. Because these objections very often don't mean what they say. What they very often mean is we're nervous, we're scared, we don't know who to trust, we don't know what to do. We're confused. That's very often the meaning of these messages. So rather than blatantly beating them over the head with some objection handlers, you approach it from a human side, with compassion and understanding. Really exploring, well, what emotions are they feeling and why are they feeling that way? And how can I shift that emotion? Because if I change how they feel, I can shift their thinking. And if I can shift their emotions and their thinking, I can now influence them. And yes, you can explore this. You can totally exploit this. This can totally be used on the dark side. And I don't want you to, but you can. Because the process is the same. First I work with the emotion, then I shift the thinking, and now I can influence, now I can guide. That's the process. Once you get the hang of it, you're going to realize that doing the selling way, the old-fashioned way, the traditional way that some trainers to this day teach since 1982, I've been through those trainings, it's just so uncomfortable and so dated, so old. You can do it in a much more comfortable, pleasant, modern way that resonates with people. Nobody wants to be manipulated or sold. People need your help. They want your guidance. They want your service. And they'll gladly pay for it. Over 5 million paid last year to real estate agents in the United States alone. It's a boatload of transactions. Somebody's making the money. You can do the same thing. Now, you can get my help. I'd love to have you. Would love for you to try the path. If you like it, awesome. Stay for as long as you want. If you don't like it, no big deal. No hard feelings. Keep the books. Just give it a try. It's $197 a month. Easy breezy. Yeah? But whether you come aboard, it doesn't matter. Just, I want you to understand the principles I teach you. A little bit of practice, different mindset, small steps we talked earlier. You can crush it. Working high probability leads. That's where the money is. That's where the opportunity is. Work with people who are already in the process. FSBOs in the process. Expireds in the process. Old expireds. Demonstrate it through behavior, through taking steps that they want to sell. That's big. That's way more important than somebody telling you, well, we're thinking about it maybe down the road 6 months from now or a year from now. A lot can go wrong. A lot can change. But if I have somebody who already had a sign in the front yard, who had a lockbox on the front door, who signed the contract, willing to pay an agent, I can work with that. And the first thing I'm going to install is a different emotion. The emotion that they're dealing with very often is what? Frustration, disappointment, confusion. What if I could shift that to hope and possibility? Do you think that would resonate with some sellers? Hell yes. Way more than if I just come in and says, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, when are you ready to hire an agent who will actually get the job done? Never. As opposed to, well, theoretical question. Somebody walks in tomorrow, suitcase full of cash, they fall in love with your house. Just like you did first time you saw it. They're ready to buy, offer you a good price for it. Would you consider it? Hope and possibility, no selling, no manipulation. Shifting emotion, shifting focus, opening door to a possible outcome. I'm not guaranteeing or promising anything. I'm not misleading anyone. I'm not lying to them. I'm not manipulating anybody. Some will say yes, some will say no, some will say maybe. Make sense, my friends? You can do this. You can totally do this. All right. Let's answer some questions. I have a second home resort market. It has different challenges. I'm sure it does. But the process is the same. Whether it's a second home, first home, doesn't matter. Somebody has a property. And somebody has a problem. And the problem will be solved by selling the property. Whether they live in it or not, whether it's a rental, whether it's a vacation home, doesn't matter. The circumstances are different, but the process is the same. And it's all based on the same emotion. I have a problem. My house is too small. It's vacant. We're bleeding out of money. Tenants are paying in the butt. We want to buy a better opportunity, better income property. We need the money, whatever it is. They have a problem, you have a solution. Whether it's a secondary market, vacation market, or you're dealing with a homeowner directly, it doesn't really matter. The mechanics stay the same. You discover what the problem is. You uncover what their core driving emotion is. What is really driving them? What is their motivation? How intense is that core driving emotion? And then you offer a solution. And you present you as a catalyst to that solution. You're not the solution. The solution is to sell the property and live somewhere else. You are the vehicle that will get them there. You follow that? They don't want you. No offense. It's not about you. You're just a vehicle. You're the car that will get them to that new house. Now, if you present it right and if you package it right, You will be the most logical choice, the most logical solution. That's the idea. You will be the easy way to get it there. You will be the most profitable way to get it there, as opposed to your competition or not getting it done. But first, they need to have a problem. Because without the problem, you have a non-motivated seller. And the only thing worse than not having listings is have listings with sellers who don't need to sell, who are not motivated, who don't have a core drive and emotion, who don't have a problem. Make sense? So yes, some of the marketing will be tweaked, some of the approach will be tweaked, some of the language will be tweaked, but not the approach, not the core of it. Where you uncover the problem, you uncover what is their situation, can you help them, and how can you help them. Make sense? Kimberly, where is that? Here it is. Hey Borino, I signed up for the path and also the new bootcamp. Excited to get some listings. Sign up, won't regret it. Great to have you, Kimberly. I'm excited. I need to learn how to explain the customer when the property is overpriced, says Myra. Myra, I will teach you how to do that. It's part of the path. One of the chapters is my Listing Presentation Plus system where I teach you. And it is not about some clever script. It really is not using some clever line. It goes deeper than that. It goes first, you understand their situation. You must understand what is the real problem? Why are they really selling? And here's one of the best questions you can ask is, what happens if the property doesn't sell? That's one of the most powerful, most important questions you need to ask. And you don't pay attention just to words, but you pay attention to their body language, their energy, the overall reaction. That's the important thing you need to know. And I'll teach you how to do that. It's a process. You can't answer, you cannot ask it at the beginning, of course. There needs to be some trust first, some relationship, some connection. Make sense? So find out what would happen if it doesn't sell. That's important. I'm ordering the Success Plus package now. We'll be getting the Expired Plus 5.0. Yes. Heather, good question. Any Expired Plus from now on, we're shipping the brand new 5.0. So feel free to order it. You will get the brand new one. Karen, what's going on? Good to see you here. They have endless amounts of money. Hey, coach, says Tarun. Elisa, if they don't have to sell, if not selling is an option for them, move on. You don't want to work with sellers who don't need to sell. I never want to work with a seller who tells me, well, we can hold on to it for a year and we can keep trying for another 12 months. It's no big deal. Ooh, no, thank you. They're not bad people, but I don't want to waste an entire year with a not motivated seller. I'll bring a good offer and they will start countering with something ridiculous and they will not do the repairs. You know how it is. It's turned into a massive project and a pain in the butt. I don't want that. I want a seller who's motivated, realistic, who likes me, who's pleasant to work with, who's honest, who has a problem and I can solve that problem, who enjoys working with me and who doesn't mind, or who gladly sees the value in my work and is willing to pay me for that work. That's my ideal client. But here's the thing. I would have lead generation systems in place, so if one client doesn't match the criteria, I can just say, thank you very much, it's been a pleasure meeting you, I can't help you, goodbye. Because I know I have 2 more listing appointments this week. If one doesn't work out or the seller doesn't fit my ideal client, no big deal. Later. But if you have 1 listing appointment in the next 30 days, even if the seller is not motivated, guess what? You're going to hold on to it for your dear life. And you're going to do whatever it takes to get that listing because you're going to be desperate. Why do you think I spend so much time telling you guys work high probability leads? Because those will get you the motivated sellers. And if you do it in high enough volume, you're going to have a flow of leads so that you can be selective. You can have the opportunity to say to somebody, no, I don't want to work with you. But if you generate 1 lead a week, you're in trouble. So you got to shift, you got to build systems in place. That's why I want to give you the Expired Plus. So you have a solid system, especially now when you have what, 100, 200, 300 expireds on your MLS. This is the opportunity. It's going to go away. Somebody's going to jump on it, watch the MLS. Somebody's going to relist those suckers. Yes, small percentage will go back to the old agent. Nothing you can do about that. But watch those who, after some gap, will pick another agent. That could be you. And what happens in that gap is follow-up. And the purpose of that follow-up is to build trust. And the way you do that is all in the book and in the marketing materials that come with the book, including the expired package, the letters, the postcards, all the good stuff. All right. Hey, Carolina, nice to have you. I door knocked on the first home today, spoke with the husband on the phone, sent a thank you card. Wife opened up the door today. I totally screwed it up. Freezed for 2 hours. I have 12 more door knocks today. Carolina, you succeeded. Of course you're going to screw it up the first time. That's normal. That's normal. To set expectations, think about it. I have never played golf. Never been on a golf course. I did like a driving range a couple times, but that's about it. So now imagine, New Year resolution, I'm going to be Tiger Woods. I get these beautiful set of golf clubs. I go on a golf course. What are the chances of me hitting a hole in one? It's impossible. And now imagine I stand there, I'm going, okay, I'm visualizing, and I got this, and I got this beautiful golf club, and here we go. Whoosh, now hit it. It doesn't go straight into the hole, and I'm like, fuck, I screwed it up. I can't believe I did that. That'd be ridiculous. I mean, my kids would look at me going, cuckoo, you know what I mean? So for you to expect to get the very first conversation down perfectly is crazy. It doesn't work that way. Kudos for going out there, having the balls to do it. That's the success. You actually being out there, because I tell you a secret. Out of 100 agents, how many do you think have the balls to do what you just did? Hardly anybody. Out of 100, maybe 1, maybe 2. And isn't it interesting that out of 100 agents, 5 make the most money? You ever thought about that? You think there's a relationship there? Of course there is. So here's the trick. You just keep going. That's the beautiful thing about working FSBOs and expireds. You're going to screw it up. It's okay. It's part of the process. See, if a baby that's learning to walk doesn't fall, doesn't fail, it would never learn to walk. It needs the failure. It needs the correction. It needs the feedback what doesn't work. You need the same thing. Yes, you can accelerate it by practicing, by role-playing, by visualizing, being in the right mindset, and all that will help. But at the end, it's you being out there talking to a bunch of expireds that will make you a rock star. And if you do a lot of that, you will succeed faster. But even having one conversation a day is being on the right track, going in the right direction. That's awesome. And I applaud you for that. That's a success. So don't beat yourself up, and definitely don't consider it a failure. It's not. And I'm not blowing smoke up your ass. I'm being sincere. That's a big deal. Because I promise you this was the worst possible experience you're going to have. Even if somebody will be rude, and once in a while you're going to hit people like that, somebody will not be interested, whatever. It's not going to get any harder than that. It's going to get easier. But you have to keep going. That's the trick. You role play, you practice, and you keep going. Yeah? So stay with it. Many people give up too soon. It would be like me giving up the golf after the first shot. That'd be stupid. That'd be crazy. Just get better, get better, get better. Think about it this way. Can you get better 1% a day? Is it possible? Whether it's talking to expired listings, working FSBOs, or doing open houses, whatever. Following up, handling objections, setting up listing appointments. 1%. 1 little percent a day. Can you do that? So now imagine 1% today, 1% tomorrow, 1% the day after. Where can you be 90 days from now, 100 days from now? Total rock star, 100% better. So the idea is not to make these giant leaps. That's like that guy in the gym, level 12. You're going to get burned out and crash, and you're going to quit, and you're going to feel shitty about it. As opposed to making these little incremental changes, improvements, moving forward diligently, deliberately, and continuously. So learn what you can from these interactions, improve if you can, control what you can, and keep going. Learn, improve, control, continue. Learn, improve, control, continue. That's the whole secret. You're on the right track. You're on the right track. Helpful? Alyssa says, I do 3 to 5 appointments a week. I figure I need 20 listings. Seems crazy amount of work. Alyssa, ask yourself this. What's more productive? Is there anything more productive than talking to expired listings? I mean, tell me. If you can think of something that's more productive than talking to people who are already in the process where you know statistically, Percentage of those will go back on the market with a different agent. Percentage of those will look actively for a real estate agent and list with one. Now, according to the National Association of Realtors, you know how many they will talk to? 80% of sellers talk to 2 agents. Those are stats. 80% of the sellers will talk to 2. So now, look at the statistics. Statistically, and this varies from MLS to MLS, from area to area, but there'll be a chunk of expired listings going back on the market. That chunk will interview 1 to 2 agents, pick one, and relist. So if you tell me there's another activity I can be doing that's more productive, that has a better chance for me to get listings, I'd like to know what it is. I think talking to FSBOs, expireds, old expired listings, doing open houses, work in your sphere is by far the most profitable, fastest way to get listings. That's why the shit I teach you. If I believe that running Facebook ads for, let's say, $2,000 a month will get you the same amount of results with less amount of work, I'd be the first one to tell you, forget this shit about expireds, do Facebook. But it doesn't work that way. I'm not saying don't do Facebook ads. Hear me. I'm not saying don't do Facebook ads. What I am saying is start with the low-hanging fruit. That doesn't cost that much, that converts faster, they're easy to find. You can have FSBOs and expireds in a matter of minutes. Good luck with Facebook on that, or other systems. Add those when you have the time, the budget, and the skill budget, just like anything else. You're going to learn Facebook. It's not going to happen in a week. And it's changing all the time. And it's getting more expensive. So my point is this. If you spend, let's say, an hour or 2 hours a day talking to expired listings every day, and if you, through good follow-up, maintain a relationship connection with them, that's going to pay off. No question about it. I mean, look at my life. I turned my life, my business, around in 10 months. And I'm a slow learner. I wasn't very good. I went from, excuse me, completely homeless, broke, ready to quit the business, to got my own condo, bought the red Benz that I always wanted, and took my, we're married? I don't know. No, she was my girlfriend back then. To Venice, Italy for a 2-week vacation. All in 10 months. From homeless to good life. And the biggest chunk, bigger than any other, were expireds. Because I realized I can find them quickly, I can convert them easily, and with the right system, I can just pick up listings left and right. That's the secret. Now imagine you got the expired system going, you got the open house system going, you got the FSBO system going, you got the referral system going, you put Facebook on top of it, you put a couple other systems on top of it. You can do 100, 200 deals that way. It's doable, it's possible. You with me? Mike has a good question. Most numbers I call do not answer. If it's possible, I leave a voicemail. Question is, do I incorporate all these into my CMS, contact management system, and follow up with visits, mailings, and video texts? Excellent question, Mike. The answer is absolutely yes. You see, phone is just one of many ways you're going to communicate with these people. So let me show you what I mean. So here is, let's say right now in some MLS, let's just for the sake of numbers, I'm not very good with math, so I'm going to use round numbers. You have 100 expireds, okay? Out of those 100, this much, and of course this will be different by area, you're going to reach on the phone. You're going to have a little conversation. No big deal. The purpose of the conversation is not to set listing appointments. That's too big of a stretch. It's like asking a girl on a first date to marry you. Too much. If you can, awesome, but most of the time it will not happen. So this is your phone conversation. Now guess what? Most agents stop right there. But what about all these expireds? You still have plenty more to go. How do you reach those? Some you will text. You call them. Left a voicemail, talked to them, didn't talk to them, didn't answer, wrong number, whatever. You go to step 2. You send a text. So now we have more reach. Next, what do we do next? We have still more to go. We send an email, if you can. Now I'm expanding the potential reach. What's next? I can go and visit some. Here, you will not have much competition. Most agents will not do it, and forget those that do it well. Small group. Most of them are my students. So you see, now I'm expanding. Now I'm reaching more of these expireds. What else can I do? I can mail them something. I can reach some on social, Facebook, LinkedIn. You with me? I can send some videos. There's a whole bunch of things I can do. And now I'm opening all these communication channels with these people. Because you never really know which one will they respond to, which one will they'll be reached with. So I'm going to try all of these. And not just once. Once I call, and the only condition at the beginning is listed, not listed. If the property has not been relisted, they go into my CMS. Because now I treat them either as a potential or actual leads. The only difference there is I had a conversation, call to action changes. Other than that, it's the same thing. And I just follow up. Now, why would I follow up even if the seller tells me we don't want to sell? I'll tell you why. Remember, we talked about the emotions earlier. Put yourself in the seller's position. They wanted to sell, they had a plan. They had a goal. They had a dream and a desire to sell the property, live somewhere else. That thing blew up. In their opinion, they hired the wrong agent. We know most of the time it was the price, they overpriced the price, but it also indicates the agent was probably weak, didn't price it right, was not confident enough to communicate well with the seller. Regardless, now the property is expired and they're sitting and going, what the fuck are we going to do? And you know how it is when you have something unpleasant, difficult to deal with, and let's be honest, selling a house, not that sexy or exciting. If they can put it off for a while, they'll put it off. And most of these sellers can put it off for a while. So what is the easiest way to get rid of all these annoying agents? They'll tell them what? We're not going to sell. We're going to stay. Right? That's what happens. Are they lying? Most of the time, no. They just feel like, I just don't want to deal with this shit right now. Has that ever happened to you? I'm sure it has. That's happened to me about 2 hours ago. You know what I mean? So they just don't want to deal with it. So here's what's going to happen. You're going to put them in your CMS. You're going to have a sequence. The sequence is in the book, by the way. If you want mine, I'll be more than happy to give you all the materials on the sequence. But you can build your own. Doesn't matter. It's just going to take a little longer. So you have them in your CMS, and you start following up with them. They see your face. They see your name. They hear your voice. Maybe even your face. You visit. You have a little chat with them. And then little by little, you start chipping away on that distrust, on the negative emotions that they're experiencing. They start repositioning you as somebody who's not pushy, who's not arrogant, who's not aggressive, who really is genuinely interested in see if they can help them. Then you start rekindling the hope through follow-up, a sense of possibility, while you being positioned as that vehicle to get them to whatever solution that they're looking for. Bigger house in Florida, nice property in Colorado, living close to their daughter, job transfer, whatever. You keep in touch, you keep in touch, you keep in touch. Because what I learned the hard way was that an expired who told me, we're not going to sell, we're staying where we are, thank you very much, no. And then like 3-4 weeks later, 5 weeks later, I'm driving by, a for sale sign, not mine. I'm like, God damn it. It's because their emotions took over their rational thinking. They put it off, good agent with a good follow-up, kept in touch. He or she was not the best agent, just better in follow-up than me. Lesson learned. Very expensive one, but important. So I just kept in touch. Because sometimes even 7, 8, 10 months later, I would get a call even from a person I never talked to. I had no conversation with. And they would say, this is Mr. Jones over on Green Street. We've seen your face and your name all over the place. We'd like to talk to you about selling our house. Because I'd rather follow up with somebody who never puts the house back on the market. Now, I don't want you to collect leads and just follow up for the sake of follow-up. But I'd rather do that than not follow up and lose $8,000, $10,000, $15,000 in commissions. Simply because I was too lazy or complacent. Here's the good thing. With the right CMS, something like LionDesk, and there are others, of course, but LionDesk is a good one. I set up automated follow-up. I hand off most of it to my assistant. All I do once in a while is pick up the phone and call, see if I can reach them. That's all I got to do. The rest can be automated. And I keep in touch. Because what I've discovered, and this will be slightly different for you, but not a whole lot, is that it took me 5 to 15 follow-up touches to convert, especially expireds. It required between 5 and 15 follow-up touches for them to say, you know what, let's talk. You know where most agents give up? Right here. They try once, twice, maybe 3 times, maybe if they're really persistent. It takes more than that. The game has changed. It's a game of persistence. It's a game of time. Now, some expireds will be ready right away, but if they're not, it's still a good lead. There's still plenty of business out there. Because if you, again, check your statistics in your MLS, you're going to notice that a big chunk of expireds take their time. Sometimes it's a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, sometimes a month, or 2 or 3. But I understand that if I keep feeding that pipe, if I keep stuffing the new leads, if I keep just putting new leads into the CMS, they're going to start converting. That's the whole secret. Yeah? So if they don't answer, no big deal. Go to step 2. Teresa says, I signed up for, where do we have Teresa? Here you go. I signed up for the expired program. Can I change it to the PATH program? Teresa, absolutely yes. We'll be happy to switch it for you. Shoot a quick email to my office, please, or call us. Email is info@borinoproductions.com. info@borinoproductions.com, or you can just call us, 800-573-8492. And Roseanne is here. She's on the call, so she will be able to take care of you. Myra says, is asking, do you recommend to be in a team? What is the benefit? When you're starting out, definitely. First few months, yes, but not longer than that. If anything, you should start forming your team once you get it going, get some traction, get some deals. But at the beginning, I was part of the team. I helped my man Angel and Patty. I don't know if they're here. Remax agents, now they have their own office. But yeah, it's not a bad idea to learn. Good question. You're welcome, Carolina. I bought Landesk because I believe you recommended it. Do you have a video book on Landesk? At least I do not, but they do. Landesk has a bunch of videos and a bunch of training. They do webinars, they do coaching, so you're in good hands. It's not going to take you too long. It's a pretty simple system. Pretty cool to use. Inexpensive, robust, it will get the job done. So you're good. I just recommend them. I just think they're good. I don't get paid by them. At least you can schedule a call with them, or you can give me a call. It's very easy, great price. Yeah, I agree. Totally agree with that. Thank you, Borino. I'm so glad you're here for us. We're lucky to have you and learn from you. Elisa, thank you. I appreciate that. One last important question. What do you think of the tools, Listings to Leads or Kingston Lane? Thank you. Good tools. Listings to Leads, good tools. Keeping Current Matters, great tools. There's a whole bunch of them. All good. What it's going to come down to is, ask yourself this. When it comes to these tools, will it get you more good leads? Can you afford it? Do you have budget for it? Will it help you grow your business? If the answer is yes, go for it. That's all good. Yeah? I need help. The emails just have not taken action. Thank you. We'll call you. Wonderful. All right. 5 to 10 touches. It's actually 5 to 15. Gordon would like to know, is it too late to join the bootcamp? Gordon, you're a good client and a good guy. Would love to have you reach out to Roseanne. We'll set you up. Myra says, I sign up for the expired. Does that include the PATH? It does not. But if you'd like to switch, Myra, just let us know. We will be more than happy to switch you, to set you up. I'm here to help. All right, guys. Good session today. Yeah, enjoyed it. We covered a lot of stuff, but I'm here to help. And I think if you do these things, you can have a great year. You can have a phenomenal year. So come join us. Here's the URL. You get that $1,905 package, the Expired Plus, the brand new one. You're going to join the PATH. You're going to get the Mindset book, access to the Listing University, tons of good coaching, lots of resources there for you. And you're going to get the Mind Matrix Plus, all included. It's only $197 to join, and it's $197 a month. Stay for one. There is no long-term contracts or anything. You're going to get the accountability, my help, coaching, access to Coach Roxy, who's awesome, access to me directly, who's awesome and humble. Anyway, good to see all of you, my friends, here. Special welcome for those of you who are here for the first time. I appreciate it. I appreciate you taking the plunge, not just here on Rockstars, but in this crazy business. And my old friends, great to see some of the faces back. It's wonderful. If I can help you in any way, post here on Rockstars, email us, call us, reach out one way or another. I want to make sure I can help you. For those of you who are on the path, remember we have our 911 tomorrow, 911 call, live call with me, where you just get on the phone and we'll talk. I'll answer your questions, I'll help you. And then the first class of the bootcamp starting on Thursday. If you're coming on board, welcome. I'm excited. If I can help you, let me know. Have a wonderful start of the year. This is your chance. This is the time. I'm here to help. Thank you very much for being here today, you guys. I'll talk to you real soon. Coach Borino signing off. Let's go get him. Bye, everybody.